Hey everyone! As you can see, my chicks are starting to outgrow their little house in our garage. These are our Buff Orpingtons, and we have 4 turkeys in there. So it's time to evict our older chickens from the stage 2 house in order to move the little chickens in there. Now, that little guy just got stepped on by the meat chicken, so I'm going to end up leaving that one in there for a day or two in order to kind of recover from that. But the rest of them, it was time to try and catch them. Now, these guys move so fast, and the way that we have our stage 2 house set up, it is not exactly easy to catch them all at once. So after catching the first chicken, I just went ahead and put this on a time lapse, just because I value your time and my own. Once I finally caught the last chick, everybody seemed to be settling in quite quickly. I mean, a few of them were kind of bunched up, but the rest of them were already out and kind of roaming around. So I really wasn't too worried about them, except for this little guy. He got stepped on by the meat chicken, so we're going to give him some resting time. But meanwhile, I am going to create a little bed space for them outside. So we'll lay down some shavings in the corner of the barn so that they have somewhere to sleep at night and something to cuddle up in. And we'll make sure that because they are still little, that they have a heat lamp to cozy up to as well at night. And then we're going to try and move this little guy out of the way so that I can create a bed for the new chickens that are coming in here. Of course, as soon as I moved him, he just ran right back to the bedding. Oh well. Let's create a nice soft little nest for our incoming chicks. Once I got all of this bedding spread out, it was time to go and get my new ones. You guys ready to move to a new house? So what I did was I just took some of their bedding and put it into a container, and then I started moving them into the smaller container to transport. I only did half at a time, so I did 3 of the turkeys and just a few of the Buff Orpingtons, and then I just kind of dumped them out into the new enclosure and went back for round 2. Once I caught all of these little guys, it was time to walk out to the barn and introduce them to their new friends again. I'm really not worried about this older chicken being in with the smaller chickens because the smaller chickens are unlikely to pick on the older, bigger chicken. And since this little guy's hurt, I doubt he's going to be picking on the little chickens, the turkeys. But I will check on them periodically throughout the day just to make sure that the adult chickens are not picking on my babies and the smaller chickens are not picking on the hurt chicken. And of course, these guys flew back in, so I had to catch them because they will pick on the babies. And we'll just close that up. And make sure that these little guys, even though they have a nice cozy nest here, we want to make sure that they still stay warm at night. So we're going to give them their own heat lamp and some food. And the last thing that we're going to do is clean out everybody's water and make sure that everybody has nice fresh water with no poop or shavings in it. They love to kick shavings into their water. It's incredibly annoying, but we try to clean out the waters every day or 2, depending on how dirty they are, of course. Now we have to really crank this down, otherwise this water will leak everywhere. That's the only thing about these specific waterers, is that you have to make sure they have a tight seal. Otherwise, they just keep pumping water out and you will come out to a big mess in just a few minutes. This waterer is a little bit easier because it doesn't have a top opening. So as soon as you flip it over, it will only dispense the amount of water once there's air that can get into it, which is like, you know, a bubble's worth. And I know I should have been wearing tennis shoes, but this was short notice. We'll add that heat lamp back in, and there you have it. Everybody is settling in. The baby chickens are happy in their new home with the little turkeys, and the older baby chickens are already starting to venture out and introduce themselves to the adult chickens, and of course get into trouble. And nobody seems too terribly stressed out about it, so we'll check back in just a little while. Thanks for watching.